I made my dad's girlfriend cry because I ruined the surprise gender reveal party she threw for me. Despite knowing I detest gender reveals, now they're calling me ungrateful and demanding that I apologize. Posted by you/throwaway gen reveal. I'm pregnant with a baby boy, due in November. My fiancé and I didn't care much about the gender of our child, so we didn't make a big deal about it once we found out. The only people we informed were our parents, their partners, and our siblings. Prior to this, my father's girlfriend of 3 years had been asking me about my plans for a gender reveal party. I've always been clear about not wanting one. When I announced my son's gender to them, she expressed disappointment that I hadn't changed my mind about a party. I don't like gender reveals, never have, never will. I prefer baby showers, which I think feel more focused on the actual child. I've never hidden that opinion, either. A few days later, my father's girlfriend invited me over for tea at their apartment. My dad was out of town. When I got there, about a dozen people popped out of hiding to surprise me. There were pink and blue decorations everywhere, making it immediately clear what was going on. As I stood there in shock, my father's girlfriend excitedly told me they were throwing me a surprise gender reveal party. Since I had already told her the gender, she had taken it upon herself to order a cake with colorful frosting, decorate the apartment, and invite a bunch of people. The guests included her mother, whom I don't get along with, some of her friends, my mother-in-law, not my mom, and 4 of my friends. As I later found out, my mother-in-law and friends had been told that I had changed my mind about gender reveals. I had not. Still standing in the doorway, I looked around at everyone and said, "It's a boy. You guys can go home now." Then I left without looking back. Hours later, my father called me, furious that I had ruined the party. He said his girlfriend had put a lot of effort, money, and love into planning it, and I should have shown respect and gratitude. Apparently, she hadn't stopped crying since I left. It's been almost a week, and they're both still upset. Even after I explained that I never wanted the party in the first place, they insist I could have sucked it up for an hour or at least cut the cake. Am I the jerk for ruining my own gender reveal party? Relevant comments. Commenter. This smacks of her trying to prove that she cares about you more than your mom, especially since either your mom wasn't invited or she turned down the invitation to respect your wishes. She doesn't seem to get that the way to prove she cares about you at all is to actually listen to what you do and don't want. Ops response. I asked my mom, and she confirmed she wasn't invited. According to my father's girlfriend, she didn't have her number. That's probably true, but I have no idea how she could have gotten my mother-in-law's. Regardless, I think she knew my mom wouldn't back her up anyway. Had my mother been invited, she would have told me everything. She knows I wouldn't want a gender reveal. Commenter 2. Is your dad's girlfriend infertile? Does she have kids? Ops response. She doesn't have kids, but I have no idea whether she is infertile. Commenter 3. I mean, I guess I don't blame you, but it sucks for the other people who just showed up for a party they thought you wanted and got ditched. Your mother-in-law and friends didn't do anything wrong, and they got punished too. Ops response. I talked to them afterward to clear things up. They were all confused and upset on my behalf. I made it clear that I understood they had been lied to and that it hadn't been my intention to put them in that position. We all apologized to each other. Commenter 4. Your actions were a reflection of how you feel about the girlfriend, not at all about spending time with people who love and respect you and are looking forward to your little one's arrival. Ops response. If she wants to get together, she can throw a party. She does not need to make it about my child's gender, especially after I told her not to. My friends and mother-in-law did indeed think they were coming for me, and I spoke to them afterward. But I will not believe that her mother and friends were there because they cared about me. You're not the only one assuming I don't like my father's girlfriend. That is not true. But when I tell someone I don't want something multiple times, and they go ahead and do it anyway, I don't have to stick around. And no, this was not about the hormones. Update 2 weeks later. Thank you for all your replies, especially those who called me the jerk for having a gender reveal. I'm assuming you didn't read my post, but you still crack me up. All jokes aside, I've been expected to be a pushover for most of my life, older daughter of divorced parents, so it was good to know I was right to stand my ground on this issue. After reading your comments, I've concluded that the only thing I did wrong was leaving without talking to my friends and mother-in-law. They were lied to and put in an awkward position after I left. I did talk to them the next day and apologized, but I wish I'd told them what was going on. A few days ago, my fiancé and I invited my father and his girlfriend over. I told them I was extremely upset with them both, but I wanted to sort this out peacefully. We still ended up fighting? My father agreed with some points I made but kept insisting that I was ungrateful and owed his girlfriend an apology. She was quiet at first but started crying about 20 minutes into the fight. My father's girlfriend said she threw the party because she cared about me and that she'd want one if she were pregnant. She started talking about all the gender reveal videos she'd watched on TikTok and how happy the parents looked in them. She told me she genuinely thought I'd love it and couldn't understand why I'd been so rude to her. To my surprise, my fiancé was the first to snap at that. He's usually the calm one. He told her to stop calling it my party since she clearly threw it for herself. I had expressed countless times that I didn't want a gender reveal, and I was well within my rights to leave when she tried to ambush me with one. The fight didn't go on for much longer after that. Near its end, my father asked me why I hadn't at least played along for a while. I told him I went there expecting to spend an hour with someone I'd been meaning to get to know better, not to spend my entire afternoon entertaining a dozen people, more than half of whom I either didn't know or didn't like, who got together to talk about my child's privates. I didn't mean to upset anyone, but I had to get out. My father didn't argue with that. There were two main pieces of advice from your comments that I decided to follow. The first was to tell my father's girlfriend she needed to apologize to my friends and mother-in-law for lying to them. She agreed, and they later confirmed she did. Secondly, neither of them will be allowed to meet my son at the hospital when he's born. My father had been looking forward to this, so it wasn't an easy decision, but I made it clear it was final. My father called me the next day to apologize for everything, and I forgave him. I don't expect an apology from his girlfriend, but I'm done feeding that fire. My life is stressful enough as it is. My son will be here in November. He already has a name, and we've just started working on his nursery. I truly can't wait to meet him. Relevant comments. Commenter. For the sake of your mental health, do not share the names you have chosen with anyone. Ops response. Oh, we're not saying anything until the birth. The only people who know besides us are my best friend, who will be my son's godmother, and her husband. Commenter 2. Does your dad and his girlfriend have a large age gap? She just revealed that she wants kids. Ops response. They're 16 years apart, I believe. Second update 7 months later. Hey everyone. It's been a while. Hope it's okay for me to update here. I remember promising myself I'd make a final post as soon as the dust had settled, and I'm pretty sure that time has come. First of all, I'm a mom. My son was born in November, and he turned 3 months old a little over a week ago. He's beautiful and perfect, and I still can't believe he's here. Secondly, I have some updates on my father and his girlfriend. Most importantly, they broke up last month. Turns out they were cheating on each other. I don't know much about this that isn't gossip I can't confirm, but I did have some minor problems with her after my last post. About a week after the conversation I mentioned in my previous update, she became fixated on trying to find out my son's name. According to her, there was a personalized gift she wanted to get me that required it. She spent 3 weeks asking around about it before giving up. I didn't invite my father's girlfriend to my baby shower. Almost definitely a jerk move, but I didn't want her there. She was still on her name crusade at the time, and it was becoming exhausting to deal with. My mother was the one who threw it, so it didn't make sense for her to be there anyway. My fiancé and I had dinner with her and my father instead, which did end up being nice. She gave us diapers instead of the personalized gift, and honestly, it was the best thing she could have gotten me. Nothing happened when I went into labor, at least not on that end. I introduced my son to my father through video chat. He kept his part of the deal and didn't visit us, but I later found out his girlfriend did try to convince him to. They came over to meet the baby a little over a week later. Her mother was visiting them at the time, and I allowed her to join us despite never getting along with her. Awful decision. She complained the whole visit. Also, according to her, I had it easy because of my C-section, so she felt the need to tell me her whole birth story. Joke's on her, my kid can kill Macbeth. All jokes aside, my father was particularly upset about this. He told me he had a huge argument with his girlfriend afterward because her mother ruined his first time meeting his first grandchild. The holidays went fine. The breakup happened early in January. Again, I don't know much about it. A few days after I found out, my father's ex-girlfriend texted me. She apologized for whatever stress she had put me through during my pregnancy. We wished each other well. I'm sure both she and my father will start dating their affair partners now. If I've learned anything these last few months, it's that my family is a freaking mess. Moving forward, I'll do my best to protect my child from this. I still have over a year until my wedding, so we'll enjoy our time away from the spotlight while it lasts. This will be my last post. Thanks, everyone. Relevant comments. Commenter. Joke's on her, my kid can kill Macbeth, is the single greatest C-section line/comeback I've ever heard. Ops response. I was so weirded out that the conversation happened in the first place. Literally no one else had anything to say about the fact that I had a C-section. Commenter 2. Screw that bullcrap. C-sections are major surgery, nothing freaking easy about them. My sister tried to pull that crap with my wife when we had our first child, 18 hours of labor followed by an emergency C-section. I told my sister to screw right off. My wife was a trooper, and our kids are better for having her as a mom. Commenter 3. Unfortunately, I have seen women who thought that if you don't have a vaginal delivery, you are not a real mother, something about taking shortcuts. Their pea-sized brains can't process that. Plenty of times, it's medically necessary to have one if you want to keep both the mom and the baby healthy and, well, alive. Commenter 4. My family is a freaking mess, is the most relatable thing I've ever read on Reddit, Lamau. Ops response. To be fair, it's mostly my father. It's not even the first time one of his relationships has ended like this, lol.